Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? All right. Sorry, I was only 2 minutes late. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. CC free at last. LVN, good to see you, young lady. Afro Angelique. All right, Josh, good to see you, brother. It's good to have everybody on tonight. Okay, I want to talk about interracial marriage when it comes to black women and white men, and why it's so successful. And white people are mad about it. Um, you know, really, we should be happy when any group is successful in marriage, regardless if it's our group or not. You would think, right? But not everybody's happy about those stats. But those of us that are in those stats, we're happy, right? Um, we're living our best life. And but anyway, I got some videos I want to show you. Well, some TikTok videos, and these are people's perspective on interracial relationships and why they last so long. And some people think that black women and white men and marriages is some kind of conspiracy that somehow it's attacking the black family, which it's not. Okay, just people falling in love, and black women, white men are being successful in it. We're more strategic, and you know, make better choices, so we have a better result. Okay, and but that's what's happening. But I want to show you these videos, these TikToks. They're fun to watch, and then I'll start talking about it. I'll start talking about stats and stuff, and how people feel. I'll give you my perspective. Okay, and a lot of stuff I say, you know, I will put stats out there that are true, and I will give you my opinion. Okay, I'm not 100% right. Sometimes I'm wrong, but I believe most of the time I'm right. And but I'll give you my perspective and talk about that, and talk about what's on my mind with this subject. And then I'll open up the panel, and if you want to come on and give your perspective, and have a discussion about this, you can. I'll leave that open. But we're doing amazing things. What website do you get your stats? Pew Research is where I get my stats. Also, there's a site called Black Demographics. Or if you go into if you Google it, you can find different studies that they have done, and that's where I get the marriage rates when it talks about black women and white men being least likely to get a divorce than two white people, two black people. And if you Google it, you can find it. It's in there. There are different studies. The numbers might be a little different, but it's pretty much in the ballpark. Okay, but if you look in Pew Research, that'll give you a lot of stats. There's been studies they've done, and they talk about, they'll even go into different racial groups and married stats and stuff and the success rate, and they'll break it down. And you just got to look, it's out there. This ain't just stats I make up. This is stuff I see online. So if what I'm telling you is wrong, it's the study that's wrong. But I believe it to be true because a lot of the stats are generally, in the same area. And plus, you know, they can't deny that black women, white men marriages last the longest. Okay, there are even people that are against it are admitting it. Yeah, it is, but they'll come up with some uh, reasons why, some excuses why it's successful. They'll even say it's white supremacy, and that blows my mind that white men married to black women is white supremacy. I didn't know that. Wow, and they'll say that it's some kind of conspiracy, and it's silly, um, you know, and but the stats are out there, and they break it down in many stats. The marriage rates. Um, you just got to look online. But Pew Research is where I get a lot of it. And but there was one black uh, demographics. I looked in there, and all I did is a Google search and put, marriage stats, interracial marriages, and stuff, and you could get that out there. But that's where I get that. So, but I see it in real life. I see it in real time. I know many people that have been married for years, black women, white men, that I've served with in the army. And I know black men that have married white women too. And it seems like those marriages don't last as long. Now, I know one that's lasted many years. So, and it depends on the character of the people. Yeah. So, anyway, let me go ahead and put this up here and we'll talk about it. Okay. Let me add this to the screen here. Okay, the copyright disclaimer, there it is. Go ahead and read that. Okay. If you need to come back and read it, you want to know more about it, you can rewind it. Um, you know, and there it is. Okay. But I think our marriage stats too, it's a cultural thing too. And white men and black women are the leaders in our community. We really are. Hey, good to see you, white guy from Jersey. All right, but let me put this. Hey, Indiana mom, good to see you, young lady. Damn, Kevin. Okay, DK. But anyway, let me show you these TikToks. Remove some of this stuff on here, so got a lot of stuff on here. So I got 5 TikToks I'm going to show you, and then we're going to get into it. Then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Hey, Winnie, good to see you. All right. All right, let me put this in here. Which one do I want to show? Okay. This one here is a young lady that says that black women are looking for white guys, and here she is. And there are black women that want to date white men, and vice versa. There are white men that want to date and marry black women. They're out there. Okay. There's more than you think. Okay. We're not around each other as much. Maybe the neighborhoods we live in, the cultures, we have different cultures. And, it's not in the norm. Most people date and marry within their race, but those of us that, fall in love with someone outside our race and we have the courage to step out of our comfort zone, we do it. And a lot of times we're successful. But anyway, let me show you this real quick.
Hey, hi. So this message is for the white men. In case you haven't noticed my video when I said where y'all be finding the white men at, it seems like y'all need to make yourself very relevant because there's a lot of black women that's searching for y'all, and I'm one of those black women. So drop yourself off in the comments. Hey, boo.
Okay, there you go, guys. She's waiting for you. All right, check out her TikTok. But there are black women that want to date white men. There are some black women that only date white men or other non-black men. They're out there. Okay. And they're white men that just want to date black women. And this here is some I want to talk about this too, about white men that only want to date and marry black women, that only want to be with black women. Okay. Because there's a misconception going around, because I'm hearing people talk about it. I'm hearing black women talk about this and thinking it's weird that a white man just wants to be with a black woman, and somehow it's a fetishization. I hear this all the time, and they believe that you should just want to be with a woman, and you can be with a black woman, but it's kind of weird to just want to be with a black woman, and some kind of red flag. I say it's BS. You want the white man that, if you're a black woman and he wants to be with you, you want his heart to be with a black woman. You want, you're going to get more love, affection, and he's going to be more into it. His heart's into it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be with a certain group of people. Okay, we never question black people saying, we never question black women when they say all they want to be with is a black man. Is that a fetishization? Is that some kind of weird thing? No. Okay. Or if a white guy says he wants to be with a white woman, well, some people might say that's racist, but you know what I mean, right? We don't look at it weird, because but if a white man wants to only be with a black woman because that's where his heart is, that's the group of women he loves, that's not weird. That's not a fetishization. That's just where the man's heart is. Okay? And when I was dating back in the day, I always wanted to be with a black woman that wants to be with a white man more than a black woman just date anybody. Why? Because their heart's all in. And usually, you have less, confrontation, less issues, because you want to be with that person. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay? I've exclusively only wanted to be with black women. And I've had black women try to check me on this like I'm some weirdo. No, I'm not. That's where my heart is. And you know what? I've been married over 28 years, so I have a track record with this. And you know what? My vision is strictly on my wife. That's where my heart is. And that's, but anyway, I wanted to talk about that because I see that so many times. And they say, well, you don't love your race. No, that's not true. I love white people. I just wanted to be married to a black woman. Forgive me for not wanting to marry somebody that looks like me. Oh, well. It's not weird. It's just where my heart is. It's a value I see in women. And the value I see in women, it's not just physical. It's not the beauty on the outside only. It's what's inside, her character, her heart. How loving black women are, how nurturing, how beautiful they are, how spiritual they are. It's all that. But anyway, people will try to check me on this. I say, okay, well, you're going to check me on this. Check my 28 years of marriage. Okay. But I have people come in on me on that. And I've seen it on YouTube. They talk about this. It's not weird at all. You love who you love. And if you're attracted to someone that's a different ethnicity, different racial group as you, nothing wrong with that. Okay. And there are black women that want to date white guys. They're out there. When I started dating, I was surprised that there were a number of black women that just wanted to date white men for whatever reason. They're out there, just like white men are out there that only want to be with black women. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you do it for the right reasons. Now, if you're doing it because you're lusting after them, and that's no good. But if you have true love in your heart, nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, thanks, Indiana Mom. Appreciate that. Okay. I thought I'd look professional tonight while we talk about this subject. Okay. But like she was saying, she made a TikTok. Hey, white guys, where you at? I'm waiting for you. They're out there. Guys, you love black women, approach black women, and look, you'll be more successful than you ever thought possible if you just be honest and be, be loving and respectful. A lot of black women are pretty reasonable. They just want a man that's going to be there for them, that's going to love them, and be honest, and that's what they want. It's not complicated. It really isn't. You approach, just be yourself. Okay, don't be something you're not. Okay, don't try to use slang words that thinking you're going to impress her, because you're just going to run her off. Okay, I think that works with Becky with black men for some reason. They're okay with it, but black women, no, that you're not. You start doing that, you're going to lose. But anyway, that's one TikTok. Let me show you another one. Okay. All right. And we're going to show a TikTok of a white man and a black man giving their perspective on why black women, white men relationships are successful. Okay. And tell me what you think. Are these guys right? Are they on the money? Or are they full of crap? Okay. Let me.
With white men tend to be the best combination and have the.
Okay, so this is just my.
Okay, this is a black guy, right? His perspective. Let's hear what he says, because I like getting other people's perspective.
Okay, so this is just my observation. I could be very wrong. And I'm going to speak mostly from a college perspective, because I see a lot of black women in college with white men. Now, somewhere in here, this could be a whole nother topic. Black women and black men have become rivals instead of partners. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of black couples out there, but when it comes to a black woman being with a white man, this is what I observe. There's less sass, there's less vitriol, less attitude. There's less of all the bad things that a lot of black men have to endure. They allow the white guy to say and do darn near anything. They even change up their language and posture, and even how they dress around a lot of white.
Okay. Is he right? Do black women change for the white man? Do they change how they talk? Do they change their posture? Is there less vitriol when it comes to relationships with black women, white men? Okay, I think that's partially true. I don't think black women just totally change because he's a white guy. No, I don't think that. I think there's mutual respect, and I think that goes both ways with black women, white men. When we get together, I think we put forward our best, because when we want to date and get with each other, we want to have our best presentation. I don't think it's just that, they're hard on black guys and white guys. They give us a pass and let us say anything. No, they don't. That I don't buy into that. Okay, they're not going just, yeah. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is he right? Or is he partially right? Or is he totally wrong? Less vitriol. Okay. And I think and I'm gonna be kind of biased here, guys, and I might trigger some people, but I think as white men, we show more of an emotion. We're able to, I believe, show that we love black women, and we're able to how can I say this? Show them easier. We're able to, and I don't think it's a weakness when we do things for black women, where I think some black guys think it's a weakness if you spend money on women, or if you show a little emotion, show some love. I don't know. I believe that to be true. I think we're able to emotionally connect better than black men generally. That's just my opinion. Okay, I'm not saying that's totally true, but I think that is. I think we connect better, black women, white men. I think we just do. We're so much alike, it's not even funny. We're both having to carry the weight in our communities. We're both counted on to make things happen. Okay. I believe that. What do you think? I mean, but anyway, let's continue. Let's see what he has to say here.
White men. So there might be some kind of sociological power dynamic going on there that I'm not getting. And I only want to do this video for a minute. So if you guys have any comments, give me more material so we can talk about this.
Okay, guys, what do you think about this young man here? Is he right? Is he looking at it logically? He don't seem like he's mad or emotional. Maybe that's what he sees. But I think in a way he thinks that white men get a pass when it comes to dating black women. I think that's just a perception. I think we're vetted harder than black men are, just because of the stereotypes and generalizations. I think we actually have it harder than black men, even though they might perceive us to have it easier. That black women just change how they talk and act and dress. I don't know. Is there some kind of power dynamic going on here? I think so. I think some of what he says is right on, I don't think he's totally right, but some of the stuff kind of makes sense. And I think it was a genuine perspective, But what do you think? Anyway, let me go ahead and drop this down. And then I'm going to give you a white man's perspective from TikTok that I pulled up. And we'll see what he says. And you tell me. Okay, we're all observants, right? We all observe. We're seeing things happen, and black women, white men are having, successful relationships. When, if you look at it outside looking in, you would think it would be the worst, because people do not like to see black women and white men come together. All right, let me add this one here.
I don't know what white men last the longest.
So she's asking why interracial relationships, specifically between black women and white men, last longest. I have my theory here, and it's based in racism and intersectionality. See, it's my theory that women of color have to be the strongest out there because they have to deal with the most, which means that they are strong, they're independent, they are opinionated, and they don't take shit from basically anyone. White men, on the other hand, live in a social dynamic to where they're basically never questioned. They do what they wish, they think what they wish, and people just accept that as reality.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. What do you guys think? Black women are strong. They don't take crap from nobody. A lot of black women are in that position. They have to be like that. Not that they want to be, but the position they're in, sometimes they have to be. And what about white men? We pretty much do what we want. Something going on here. And I'll be honest, I do whatever the heck I want. And really, nobody tells me anything. I've dated interracially since 1985, and I got married in 94 interracially. Nobody really told me nothing. Nobody really tried to stop me. Yeah, there's haters along the way and people with their opinions, but I don't care. I do what I want. That's my attitude on it. And are white people like that? White men like that? We just do what we want and we don't care what people think. Not that it's true and it's not true. There are some of us that do what we want and we just do it. There's some that don't. Okay. There's alphas and betas, white men. And the alphas do what they want. They go after what they want and they get it. We're betas, they're worried about what people think and, how they look and how mom and dad's going to think and cousin Joe, and where some of us just don't care. Anyway, let's hear some more of what he says.
So when a white guy gets with a black woman, they both are strong, they're both independent, but it doesn't cause the other one to feel like they're losing their power in the situation. So they both feel strong, they feel like their opinions are represented, and they feel more comfortable in that. And I mean, I could be completely off base. This is just my opinion. This is how I think things play off. I'm not a psychologist.
Okay, what do you think? Is he right? When we get together, Do we get in that power dynamic? Do we feel like we're not losing anything when it comes to that? We're both two strong people, right? Black woman strong, white man's strong, right? When we get together, we make it happen, and we don't feel like we're tearing each other down. It's like a compliment on both ends. I think that's true. I do. I agree with what he's saying. Okay, because but not all white men are like that. If it was like that, interracial relationships would be doubled right now with black women. But a lot of us are just doing what we want to do. And the younger generation's coming around, and it's going to grow. This 4%, I don't believe it's at 4%. I think it's even higher. But they're saying 4%. Okay, that's millions of people. And take this in perspective. And I've seen people say, well, interracial relationships, it's not really happening that much. It's only 4%. So, white men ain't really coming for black women because they might lose inheritance and all that crazy crap, right? But think about this. Less than 1% serve in the U.S. Armed Forces right now. Think about that. Less than 1% are serving in the military right now. Less than 1%. 4% of black women are married to white men. So that's 4 times the people that are serving on active duty today in the U.S. military. All branches. Let that sink in. Here's another thing. If it's only 4% and is 1% when Loving versus Virginia, that's a 300% increase. So don't let the numbers fool you. Okay, they're playing on numbers. Here's another thing they'll say too. Okay, and when I talk about interracial relationships, people go in on me and say, well, black love, and they throw that at me. And I remember one live, people were saying, well, why don't you talk about black love, and going in on me? And I was like blindsided because I didn't have that many trolls come in on me. But here's a stat for you. They say 87%. I'm going to take this guy down. They say 87% of black men marry black women. 87. That's pretty good, right? 87%. And I looked that stat up, and it is true. 87%. Yes. I looked it up in black demographics, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a half truth, though. Black men, only 30% of black men are married, according to statistics. That same website. So actually, 87% of black men, 87% of black men are married to black women, but that's 87% of 30%. Okay, because there's only 30% of black men that are married. But of that 30%, 87% marry black women. So it's really not all that great, is it? And look, I'll be fair and honest. Marriage across the board is horrible. In the white community, 52% get married, so 48% aren't getting married. So that's not good. Asians lead the way at 58%. So 42% of them aren't getting married. So our marriage rates is a problem across the board. And that's why I say everybody needs to open up their options. Whether you're a black woman, white man, Asian woman, Asian man, Middle Eastern, whatever. You need to have that option button open if you want to get married. If you want the best person for the job, the best man, best woman. We all need to open up our options across the board. But make sure you get a man or woman of character too. Okay? But those stats are horrible. They proudly put those stats. I said 87%. How can that? Wait a minute. But only 30% are married. 87% of that 30%. So the ones that do get married mostly marry black women. And that makes sense because most people that get married marry within their race. Okay. And black women, I think the stat said 93% of black women marry black men, but only 27% of black women are married. So, I mean, we could play with numbers and stats, but really, black women need to open up their options more than anybody because it's a numbers game. That ain't putting nobody down. That's just a fact. And when you look at numbers and statistics, you know that there's approximately 2 million more black women than black men. So if you're race loyal, you're already at a 2 million disadvantage in America. And black men date and marry out twice as much as black women. So the numbers aren't sliding in black women's favor. They never were. It's getting worse. So I mean, if you really dig in the numbers, and here's another thing I would say to people, well, and people have told me, well, not too many people are interracially dating, so why do it? Well, here's the thing. Most people aren't millionaires, so why strive to be one, right? Does that make sense? 4%, that's millions of people. That's the power couple. That's the couple that's leading the way in marriage. Wouldn't you want the best, situation, the best option? Who looks at numbers and say, well, okay, most people aren't millionaires, so I'm not going to try. Most people aren't successful business owners, so I better hang that up too. Most people, don't make six figures, so why try making six figures? Most people don't have a good job, so why try to get a good job? Most people, that is so stupid. Who goes on numbers anyway? When you want the best option, you look at stats, right? But the best of the best, there's very few. Successful business owners, there's few. And they had to go through some things. They had to go through success and failure through their life to get where they want to be, to where they need to be. So I just dismiss that when they start talking about, oh, well, not many people are doing it. Okay, so what? I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm just saying. But anyway, I think both the black guy and the white guy had very good perspectives. I think they both did. They see it. I don't believe that white men get special privileges with black women. I don't. Maybe if she's only into white men, she'll treat him better than black men, of course. But I think usually white men get vetted harder than black men when it comes to dating black women. I think black women really make sure they think we're racist or fetishizers, and they really dig into us to see if we're not. Where black men, I think they get their pass. I really do. Some black women can be extremely stubborn. Just today, I overheard a black woman saying she's hoping to find a good black man in jail. Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't, no, you're not going to find a good man in jail. Sorry, black, white, or whatever he is. Yeah, I wouldn't try to do that. I mean, there's always an exception to the rule, but 99% of the time you're going to be with a criminal. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to be mean, but no. Don't look for love in a jail. That is don't do that. Vet hard is how black women, white men succeed. Yes. My wife was a bit tough on me. She wanted to make sure I was for real. Black women vet hard. They do. And they should. They should vet hard on any man they're going to be with. But it comes natural with the white guy because it's unknown. They don't know what to expect. So it's kind of like a plus. Black love is a scam. Black women need to wake up. Well, it's not doing too good statistically. 30% and 27% of black women married. That's not good at all. And when black women lead the way in education and entrepreneurship, and they're the most loyal and loving, they should be at the top of every racial group. And in the future, they will be. All right. Let me show this other video. Okay. And I want to talk about this because this talks about Ralph Richard Banks, right? And this black man's going on and talking about this in a TikTok. But let's watch it real quick. Let me put this up here.
Black man. How y'all?
Hold on. Let me start. All right. Remember that article? Okay. Ralph Richard Banks on why black women should consider marrying white men. Remember that? Okay. This is this guy's take on it.
Black man. How y'all feel about this article that just dropped that's detailing why more black women should consider marrying white men? It looks like a very powerful chess move to continue to divide and then to begin to conquer us as people.
All right, let me stop right there. He said it's a chess move, right? To divide and conquer our people. That's what he said, right? First of all, ain't nobody conquering nobody in today's world, okay? We're in America, okay? And there are white men that are finding value in black women, that want to marry black women, that love black women. We're not trying to conquer nobody. We're not trying to mess up the black family. We're not trying to do that. In fact, marriage in the black community is only 30%. So there's 70% of women out there that nobody's marrying. So who are we taking over? Actually, we're helping you out, sir, because you're not marrying the women in your community. And if you're not willing to, that's fine. But men like me will come in and marry the black women for you. Let me help you out, bro. Okay? Let me do that for you. It's not a takeover at all. Okay? This is our country. We're the same nationality. We're not, this is our home. We just see value in black women. And yeah, we're going to compete for black women. And you know what? A lot of white men are getting highly professional, successful black women. And you know what? It's because we're showing them love and respect. That's what's happening. It's not no takeover. It's not dividing the family. If only 30% are married, come on. Who are we dividing? Nobody. We're lifting up women that are not married, giving them another option. Nothing wrong with that, right? All right, let's see what else he has to say.
Yo, and this article was written by a black man. And it's not just know anybody, too. This dude is a professor of law at Stanford University. And his wife also is at Stanford University. And she's done, many case studies on how...
Okay. It's a black man that wrote the article, right? Ralph Richard Banks is a black man. And he's married to a black woman. So he's not a swirler. He's just looking at numbers and he's looking at it logically. I would say Ralph Richard Banks is a black man of character because he's telling the truth. He's telling black women, what they need to hear, the truth. If you want to be married, you have to open up your options because the numbers are not in your favor. Okay? And yes, he took a lot of flack for this. And a lot of people are mad at him for that. Okay? But truth is truth. And you can't change the truth. You can't distort it. You can't spin it. It is what it is. Okay? Well, let's continue here.
race and crime, how they affect each other. So this is a big chess move, man. This is a huge chess move. Really, what this article is saying and what this movement that's coming up is really saying is that black men aren't even fit for marriage. Like, the play against us right now is so strong that what are we going to do about it?
Okay, here's the thing. If it's a big play against you and it's a chess move, you know how you can counteract that, sir? Marry the women in your community, provide for them. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be a millionaire. Just the women you're with, instead of just laying down with them, marry them. Help raise the kids. That's how you counteract that, if that was a thing. But it's not about that. It's just other men or races are finding black women to be valuable. We're seeing the beauty in black women. You know, that's all it is. And you can't, there's no chess move against you. Nobody's trying to do nothing to you. I think, honestly, guys, I think guys like this that are upset, I think they're more worried about their image and how they look rather than what's really going on. Because if you're really upset about white men marrying black women, then you would marry a black woman, wouldn't you? But I think it's all about image. I think it's more symbolism over substance. I really do. There ain't no play against you, and there's nothing. It just, your marriage rates are horrible, and you got white men coming in and marrying black women. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
I say, boy, you better marry you a black woman as soon as possible while supplies last. Because they're falling for this. Like, they really are falling for this type of shit.
He said you need to marry a black woman as soon as possible while supplies last. Okay. I think he's making some sense now. Maybe he's seeing the light. Okay. Marry one while supplies are out there. They're not running out. Honestly, most black women that do get married to black men. So it's not like white men are rushing in and taking all the black women. What's happening is, black women are starting to see other men, and other men are starting to see the value in black women. We're starting to see, we always thought they were beautiful, but now we're seeing their character. Now we're seeing how loving they are. Now we're seeing how loyal they are. Uh-oh, something's happening. But you're not losing nothing. If the marriage rate's only 30%, what are you losing? Why are you mad? But hey, get married while supplies last. I like how he said that. That was pretty good. It was like, but it's not even like that. You know what? Marriage is the key to a successful community. Marriage is the foundation of family. And why we gotten so far away from marriage is beyond me. It's destroying us within. It really is. But anyway, all right. But it's good to hear a different perspective. Okay. But what do you think? Do you think there's a conspiracy? Do you think white men having relationships with black women, dating them and marrying them is an attempt to destroy the black community? No, it's not. Seriously, the marriage rates are so low. I'm just saying. But anyway, but it's funny how people look at it like, oh, that's a chess move against us. They're coming in. No, they're not. It makes it sound like white men are just coming in just to tear down the family. But then on the other hand, they'll say that, oh, only 4% are getting married. It's not that many. But anyway, here's another TikTok I want to show you before I open up the panel, guys. Okay. And if you guys come on the panel, we'll keep it going. If not, I'm going to cut it pretty short tonight. I mean, I'm off tomorrow, so I got time. So if you want to come on, you can. Okay. I'm going to leave that open for you. This next TikTok I want to show is approach, how to approach a Black woman. All right. It's a little skit they do, but it makes sense. Okay. Let me put this up here.
Excuse me, I'd hate to bother.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, I'd hate to.
Okay. All right. It says how Black women want white men to approach us. Okay. And tell me, is this right? Is this how Black women want white men to approach?
Excuse me, I'd hate to bother you, but can I have a moment of your time? I just want to say you're gorgeous. You're stunning. Your radiance drew me over here to you. I'm Steve. I work in accounting. I'd love to take you out. You're gorgeous. You're absolutely stunning. You look radiant today. Your hair is gorgeous. Your skin.
Stop.
I'd love to just to get to know you if I could do it,
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think? Is that a good way to approach? Maybe not talk about her skin because she might think you're fetishizing her. That word's thrown around like crazy, but just saying she's beautiful. You look beautiful. I'd like to talk to you. I think that's good. Don't put in skin tone or nothing like that. Just tell her she's beautiful. And you want to ask her out. I think pretty much this is a good way to approach. You're being respectful. You're telling her she's beautiful. You're giving her a little flattery. Don't overdo it, but just tell her she's beautiful and you've been wanting to talk to her. And can we have lunch sometime? Something like that. But be respectful. Be loving and respectful. It gets you a long ways. Okay, and then they're going to show how not to approach. Okay.
Hey, mama, sweet chocolate sauce, queen, Nubian queen chocolate. Yeah, I want to dip myself in your chocolate. Do you like white chocolate? I'd love to get to know you, sister, queen, Nubian goddess. What?
Get out.
You're a queen, though,
Get
sis. Please.
Okay, that's obviously not the way to approach, right? Don't call her a Nubian queen and all that stuff, okay? Don't call her queen at all. Just tell her she's beautiful. I know Black women have told me they find it irritating when men call them queens, okay? They find it irritating when Black men do it, and they really find it irritating when white men do it. So guys, if you're approaching a Black woman, do not call her queen. Now, if it's your significant other, your wife, yeah, you can call her queen. Okay, but don't approach her calling her queen. That just seems weird. And, just tell her she's beautiful. Just tell her, she's attractive and you want to get to know her. Just say hello. It's sometimes just saying hello goes such a long ways. And we beat up ourselves thinking there's some special formula to approach a Black woman that we got to do. And a lot of white guys make the mistake is that they try to approach like a Black man approaches. No, be you, be yourself. Do not call her Nubian queen. She'll think it's weird. That's silly anyway. Okay, if you're in a, if the relationship goes further and you love each other, you can call her queen. But, just approaching her. And yeah, and don't talk, do you like white chocolate? Don't do that, okay? That's silly. But anyway, that's a good example how Black women want to be approached. Because here's the thing. Black women want to be approached respectfully. They like being told they're beautiful. What woman does not like being told they're beautiful? What woman does not like you being respectful to her and being interested in her and doing it in a respectful way? And that's not just Black women that like that. All women like that, right? So when you approach a Black woman, she's a woman. Treat her with love and respect and approach and be yourself. Yourself goes a long way. When you're trying to be something you're not, she sees right through it. And that will end your chance in a heartbeat. So don't do it. Okay? Black women are not impressed from a white man sagging his pants or talking in slang. They really aren't. And if they are impressed, that's probably not the woman you want to be with anyway. So just be yourself. Okay? All right, let's see. These men have to know what type of black ladies to approach as well. If she appears to be mild-mannered and pleasant, then have a little chat. That's a good point. And observe how she carries herself. When I started dating, I just approached black women that I thought was beautiful. I didn't even really look at their personality or how they carried themselves till later on, till I had that bad experience. Then I started seeing what kind of black woman. And here's the thing, black women, these are the type of black women white guys or non-black men like, right? It's black women that are traditional, okay? Because a man wants a woman that's going to have his back, to be a loving wife, to have that traditional nuclear family, okay? Also, white men love professional black women, okay? And it's not about the assets they have or how successful they are. What it's really about is a professional black woman is organized. She's professional. She's strategic. And when you're married, you got to manage money, right? You're a team. And, you both got to be financially sound. Most marriages that end because of infidelity and money. Those are the two big reasons. Infidelity, cheating, and money problems. So you want a woman that's financially sound, and a professional black woman knows how to handle money. So you get with her, you're not going to have problems with money. And then the traditional black woman is usually a woman of faith, a woman that loves her husband and family, and she's going to be there for you. So there in turn, she's going to be good with money because she wants the best for the family. So you got to put that in perspective too. You don't want to just get with a good time woman because, she might spend your money on a good time, having fun. So, you got to be strategic. And ladies too, when you're looking at a man, you want a man that's successful because he's got to handle money. And it's not about, wanting a man that's got money, but you want a man that can handle money because he needs to pay the bills. He needs to provide for you and the children. And, you want to live comfortably too. You don't want to have to work 3 jobs. You know what I mean? So it's all strategic. Okay. And yeah, money's an issue. It is, because you got to make money to pay your bills. You got to make money to buy a house. You got to make money to put your children in school and college. And if you want your kids, when they're little, going to private schools so they get a better education, you got to think about all this stuff. Me and my wife, Sandy, we pinch pennies, our time in the Army to get our children in private schools because we wanted a good education. My education sucked. I had to have the Army teach me how to read. It was so horrible. I had to take college classes to get me up to speed before I could even continue any more education. And that's sad. That's horrible. But one thing I did is my kids will never go through what I did. They will be educated. They will have college degrees. They will be competitive. That's what I wanted for my children. Because you don't want to get to be an adult and have to backtrack and relearn how to read like I did. You don't want to have to go there. It's tough. Thank God for the Army. I'm where I'm at today because of that. But I'm telling you, it takes more than just, hey, she's fine, he's fine, and we love each other. You got to be strategic. You got to have your finances in order. And guys, you might have your finances in order, but you got to be with a white woman. She's got to be the right partner. Okay? You got to have a plan together. That will break my heart if yeah. So seriously, it's a strategic thing. It's like a business deal, but look, it's not just business. You got to love each other too. Okay, love has to be a part of it too. Some people say it's not about love, it's a business agreement. Well, it is, but you got to have love there too, because you got to love someone enough to put up with their craziness, to put up with just them irritating you as people do. Yeah, thumbs up this video, please do. All right. Let me go ahead and open up this panel if you guys want to come on. But look, black women, white men, we are the power couple. We're having a success, and people are mad. Okay? I want to address this too. Okay? I get some emails every now and then. Okay? People get upset. Okay? And some people say that sometimes on this channel, black men are being bashed. Okay? Here's the thing. Some ladies have bad experience and they're going to tell how they feel. Okay? I don't want to silence nobody. All right? But take this in perspective. Do you guys even know what emails I get from haters, what they say about my wife and my biracial kids? You think what comes out of here is bashing? You should see the emails I get. You know, and that's not the purpose, but women have to heal. And you know what? Sometimes getting it out is the best therapy. But anyway, I just want to put that out there. And some women say, well, I have black sons and this. Yeah, okay. Well, I got a black wife and biracial daughters. And men come in at me and talk trash about my wife and about my kids. And they do it freely. And here's the thing. And I'm not getting mad trying to get back at black men, because I know not all of them are doing this, right? But I get bashed all the time. And how many women that are upset with what a woman says about a black man, upset about what these black men are saying about black women, or other black women tearing down black women? Because black women are getting trashed all over YouTube. And I don't see nobody really, going in on that. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't see it. But I just want to put that out there. We're not here to go in on people. We're here to just put out the truth. And if somebody wants to vent, that's what they can vent. And that's their opinion. Let them have it. We don't need to be checking ladies up here for black men, okay? And, let them speak how they feel. Men are tough. They can take it, okay? They're not little boys, okay? So I just had to put that out there, because sometimes I can't censor women or we won't even have a channel. Like, I love you. You love me. We love him and her. Have a good night. Anyway, sorry, I just went on.
Hi, Rich. How are you?
Hey, Afro Angelique, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. You are looking quite snazzy, and I am loving that tie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is the suit I wore at the wedding, and I had like a different color, but
yeah, you had the burgundy.
Yeah, the burgundy. Now I went with the white shirt and blue tie. Just kind of changed it up.
I see what you're doing, being all professional and stuff.
Yeah, why not? You know what? and you know what's funny is somebody gave me a comment. They said, okay, whatever, they're Mr. Men's Warehouse. And he said, quit quit colonizing minds. And I'm like, what? Okay. Well, first of all, I didn't go to Men's Warehouse. Okay. Um, I actually went to Dillard's. I found this suit on sale. Okay. And here's the thing. He was trying to put me down where I bought the suit. Look, I'm not going to wear $5,000 Italian suits for YouTube. Okay. I'm not Mr. Rich. If I was, I'd probably wear it. Okay. I just wanted to look professional and have something that looks nice. It's kind of like, it's funny because I see people at work, right? These younger guys buying these Mustangs and Audis, 70, $80,000 cars. And I drive to work in my Honda. And they're
Mhm.
like, they laugh at me. But you know what? I have a brand new house. They live in a piece of crap apartment. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So that's where I'm at. I don't care about the symbolism. I'm about the substance. So, yeah, a Honda or a Toyota will get me to work just as fine as an Escalade or you know, or an Audi or a Mustang. I would love to have those cars. Don't get me wrong, but a house is more important to me.
Yeah,
You know,
you prioritize the right things in the right order.
and who am I trying to impress anyway? As long as Sandy's impressed, I'm good.
As
you
for
know,
she's picking it out, she's impressed.
yeah, she's got a nice house, so she's good. Now I
Okay,
might not be appealing in my little Honda, but hey, it does the job. So
Hondas are good cars.
yeah,
Okay, so
sorry.
can I give my opinion in order of video?
Yes, yes.
Okay, first one. Um, I think that the reason he thinks that there's such a different power dynamic is because he doesn't understand the dynamic of respect. Because most white men will approach respectfully, whereas most black men will approach in a space of violation because they violate your personal space. They violate their language is not healthy, and so when you have people from black men and white men and black women are basically on the same wavelength, it's easier to kind of trust. And when a woman trusts you, her language softens, her body language softens. And so, yeah, it might seem like we're giving y'all an easier chance, but it's not that we're giving you an easier chance. It's just that your energy, your aura, your respect warrants us softening because if you come at us hard, we're gonna come at you hard. That's just what that is.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I think the thing is too, when we approach black women, look, white men that approach black women most of the time really love black women. They want to be with a black woman. And we don't want to blow the chance, so we're not going, that was kind of funny on that TikTok where he says, "Hey, you like white chocolate?" Yeah, we're not going to approach you that way. And well, there's dumb white people that might do that, but usually we're going to be respectful because we don't want to miss out on the opportunity. So, and I think, I don't want to be generalizing, but I think white men, we have an easier way of expressing ourselves, it seems,
mhm,
like telling you how we feel,
mhm.
where I don't see that much in, well, black
It's
men doing it. And I've heard black women tell me they don't express themselves as much. And maybe it's a culture thing. I don't know.
it's not a culture thing. It's when you don't feel safe, you cannot express yourself fully. And
Mhm.
black men do not allow you to feel safe because when they approach you, the first thing they do is violate your personal space. So if the first thing you do is violate, how can I feel safe around you?
Mm.
And with white men that have approached, they stay in there. They respect the bubble. When you respect the bubble, you get a lot further.
Yeah.
And then with the situation with the second TikTok where the white guy was describing, he made a lot of valid points, and I would have to agree with like majority of them. And I love that video with the black woman and the different approaches,
Yeah.
because while the first approach is appreciated, he doesn't have to go overboard with all the compliments.
Yeah.
But a little compliments. But that second one is just like, oh, you've been talking to black men, haven't you? That's why you approaching me like that.
Yeah. And sometimes white men get caught up in that because they see it working with black men approaching black women. But when white men try it, it's a mess. It's just stupid.
It's a hot mess, is what that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because if you approach respectfully and you keep the compliments to maybe one or two, and then and you're respectful, it allows me to evaluate and decide whether or not I'm going to trust you in my bubble.
Yeah. Hey, KD, welcome. Good to see you, young lady.
Hey, I would have been up here quicker, but I was making a new Afro wig for Kevin, so
He's got all the hairstyles. I was just like, okay. I think I got a
how's
question.
it? Oh,
Akita, I think she's asking a question. Do you think black men like peaceful lives? Most times they feed on confrontation and conflict. Okay. Well, I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not a black man, but now what do you think, ladies?
what was the question?
She says, do you think black men like peaceful lives? Most times they feed on confrontation and conflict. Or maybe that's a statement more than a question.
Yeah, I think that was a statement, but
I think that's a statement
yeah,
because
it's true.
black men are not peaceful. If you find a peaceful black man, it's probably because he's smoking tweeds. So, um,
Smoking tweeds. He's just out of it, so he's peaceful. Okay.
but they don't. I mean, I have, I do know some black men um, that are not confrontational, that are very straightforward, that are not the way that most black men I know are, but they are the exception to the rule.
Mm,
And there's an exception to the rule everywhere, but
yeah.
most black men have the same mentality. So the thing about it is that half of the time they would get further if they weren't as aggressive as they are.
Mm,
They're just too aggressive. They violate that personal space, and when you violate that personal space, it takes you that much longer to get trust.
mm. All right. SJC says a Christian black man is. I believe that because he's a man of faith, so he sees the world differently. Uh, Looking at it as we're all brothers, in Christ. Okay. All right, DK. Well, welcome, young lady. Good to see you.
I
That's a fashion show. It's the bathing suit edition. All right.
I don't know what avatar to choose. He looks so good in all of them.
Right.
So special.
But yeah, I've always wanted to like talk about like black women and white men, you
Mhm.
know? Like earlier, um just my personal experience, earlier I went like on a bike ride, a motorcycle ride with my boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Just young, stupid people. What young people do. No, don't put Kevin on the main screen.
I'm giving you a solo look
Oh,
here.
right.
Okay.
Okay. I got it. Do it again.
Oh, you
But
okay?
yeah, we went we were on we were on like a motorcycle ride, and all I got was looks from like when we're passing cars. And then you see the black male drivers, all I could look is like they're just looking at me. And then like, white men, like there's white guys that look at it, but then they're like looking like they're shocked. And then black guys be like giving me dirty looks
Mm.
just because I was on a motorcycle with a white guy. And then it doesn't make me feel.
Uh-oh,
Hello?
I lost DK.
Oh,
Uh-oh, DK. Let me put the link back up here. We lost you. I think somebody got offended what she was saying. Oh, there she is. Okay.
I hope that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I think we have someone sabotaging you while you're talking.
No, I accidentally pressed like a button that kicked me out. I was too
Oh,
distracted by the bathing suit.
okay.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you will get dirty looks when you're like a black woman in a white man relationship. People
Hmm.
really don't like us.
No, they don't.
And and here's the thing: people say that us together is white supremacy. No, it's not. White supremacy hates it. Seriously. And also, I mean, and those that are the how can I say this? The race loyal people, they don't like it either. And they really hate it when people date and marry out when it comes to black women, white men. We are the most attacked in today's world. You can't tell me no different. I mean, you got to see some of the attacks I get. Just people have said the most horrible things. People have emailed me and said horrible things. But you know what? I saved those emails.
Yeah, that's true though. It's like even if people are like, mostly about their race, I notice they're so biased about who they want to keep that race thriving. Like if they're like, oh no, I'm all about pro da da da. They, however, are quiet when like a certain gender of that community or race like date out and have kids with other races, but they condone like the other gender to stay race loyal. I'm not gonna throw shade. I'm talking about how they tell black women to stay race loyal, yet majority of biracials have like a black father, and they're
Yes.
quiet on that. And they're so quick to claim those biracials as their own, though. And I find it very, very funny and disingenuous about this whole white supremacy stuff. And I'm like, it's not white supremacy. You just don't want black women to date out. It's simply
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
That's exactly what it is. It's just they want you to feel guilty at all costs. If you do it, they want you to feel bad. They're going to call you a white supremacist. They're going to call you a bed wench. They're going to call you um
All type
and
of foolishness.
all kinds of crazy stupid stuff. Some jackass, called my wife when I first started a punk ass what did he say? He called my wife a punk ass bed wench coon. And I'm sorry to cuss, but that's what he called my wife.
That is not okay.
I
That's
was
not
called a
okay.
feminist by a black man because I'm with a white man. I guess that makes sense. And
That
then
makes
they're
it.
like, oh, you're against the black family. And then I'm
And
like, no, I'm not.
No. This is the thing. what people don't understand is that if you have a couple that is genuinely in love with each other, and it's a white man and a black woman, and you throw this foolishness at them, all you're doing is pushing them closer together. Because the reason why we have black women and white men have the highest successful marriage rate is because they know that they have to be for each other against the world, because the world is not gonna approve of that match.
That's true. And I like, have you ever been told you're not black for simply like not
Yes,
acting a certain way? Like, I
yes.
don't know. I went to majority black middle school, elementary, and high school,
Mhm,
but I was called being a white girl because I was the type to always sit in the corner, read books, or walking by
mhm,
myself, and I'm more introverted.
mhm.
And um I don't know, my style, I wear casual clothing. I just wear a shirt and pants and shoes with no skin showing. And I'm called being white for that. And, mostly what I notice is mostly like white people that are usually nice to me about
Mhm.
that. And then adding to the fact that I date white men, etc. Yeah. People like, oh, you're not black at all, even though I'm like black. You clearly can tell I'm black, but I guess you're supposed to act a certain way and act like a mammy to be black, apparently. I don't know
Well,
how people
it's
mindset
your
work on it.
it's your speech, because you actually use proper English, and so that makes you automatically white. You like me, because if you're not speaking in certain ways and dressing in certain ways, then you must be trying to be white. And then because it it's not fair, but it's
Mhm.
like I have been told from the beginning, it's like, oh, you're gonna wind up marrying a white man. I'm just like, really? And I wasn't dating outside of my race at that moment in time, but I've always been told I was gonna marry a white man. Just because I am not a person that is people expect if you are black, people expect you to act ghetto, and when you don't act ghetto, they don't know what to do with it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. It's like you either have to be you have to fall into one of the three stereotypes on black women. But
Mhm.
I think it's like, no matter how classy you can act or innocent you act as a black woman, you can even be a little girl, a black little girl, you will automatically get the Jezebel stereotype on you. That hurts. Like even black girls are seen as that, even if they're innocent and jump roping. People automatically assume that's how all black women are, and then you have to fit of the other two, which is like the mammy, the true definition of a mammy, and what is it, the sapphire, the sassy black friend. Like, girl, you gotta fit in those other stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
if you don't, I notice people, yeah, they don't know what to do with you. It's like, how do we work with you? It's like you can't be controlled, or we can't talk bad about you in a certain way, and we can't justify our inner racism and prejudice. I notice, especially black people and white people, and there's other people in between.
Yeah, if we can't put you in a box, then we don't know what to be. We don't know what to do. And
You know,
it's go ahead.
no, no, no. Go ahead and finish. I was going to just say something.
I, I I don't know. It's just to your point about the little girls. Like black women, people don't know what to do with us because we never act in the ways that they expect us to act. We never do what they expect us to do. And then if you don't fall into girl category or super um preppy white girl, like I'm totally, yeah, um, type situation, or, somewhere in between. If you don't fit into that perfect little box, they have aneurysms trying to figure out what to do with you.
you,
Yeah,
you
it's
know
so
what?
sad.
That's crazy because and how people act a lot of times your environment, you
Hmm.
know. And I've seen black girls, growing up, or even black women being made fun of on how they talk. Maybe their English is, you know, proper English or whatever, and they get made fun of like that. I remember, as a teenager, seeing black girls that had that Valley Girl type, and they weren't trying to sound like that. That's just how they talked around. They were around white people all their life, so they didn't. And it's sad because where you at, how you grow up, is how you talk,
Hmm.
how you sound, and people go in on people because of that, because they want you to act like a stereotypical black girl or woman, and I'm like, that's stupid. And that's what's wrong with this world, is we want to put each other in a box, and we got to act a certain way or talk a certain way, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
It-
Usually,
it-
like, I don't know what about them. And some black women get on my nerves. I'm just going to say that. They get on my nerves because sometimes they make the situation even worse, even if
Hmm.
it's on worse on them. And you know, like I'm like a newly graduate, but I remember all my high school, my 4 years of high school, like there was this certain walk on the black girls. I don't know what about it. They walk like the guys, but I guess because they got a bigger butt, it's an exception. They walk like the guys. I don't know how to describe it. It's a certain walk, like a swaggish, thuggish walk. The black girls were walking, and they had like slides and socks and etc. And I people thought that was the normal style, and that's how you know someone was black. And me, I was like wearing Converse and long black leggings or like black denim pants, and the girls were like laughing at my like the way I dress. And I know I walk normal, like
Mhm.
walking is normal. You don't have a
Yeah.
weird walk, but they always literally were laughing at my like dressing style. And because I dress like a grandma, I always be wearing skirts too. But and then they make fun of the fact that I walk with like 5 books in my hand every day at school just to read. And I don't know why, but the black community, you're not supposed to look smart or
You're not
look
supposed to want to
normal.
be
You have to
smart.
look ghetto. I don't know what's wrong with them. I guess black is people want black to be a struggle and poverty and look illiterate. And once you have a black girl that actually love reading and dressing normally, people just think that's kind of weird and
Hey,
not normal and white.
let me give my perspective on this. Educated black women are so attractive. Seriously, that's a good thing. Embrace that. Education's a good thing. It'll help you in life, and the more you learn, the better off you are.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's funny you said grandma because when I was little, that's what my nickname was, grandma, because I was the one that was always watching out for everybody and making sure everybody was. Why it was like, why are you a 12-year-old grandma? Um, that's, that's just
grandma, because you were mature, you were a young lady. You carried yourself as such.
and
That's
it's
a good thing.
always been that way. So it's just like maybe it's because I had older parents. Um, but like I don't have. I've always been the mature person out of any friend grouping.
Awesome.
Oh, someone asked, what is the difference in black women that date and marry white men? Oh, yeah, there's a certain difference, all right. Um,
Oh, yes, they're
you
not
know
ghetto
the
fabulous.
Where's
yeah,
that question? I missed it. Like I missed all
like
kinds of.
yeah, and there's a difference. I'd say like there's a there's outliers, but I'd say usually the black one I know who dates white men, the way they speak is kind of different. Not to say like ghetto, if you like or prefer black men, you speak bad. I'm not saying that. It's just that I noticed that they're the way they speak, it's not bold, right? Like, girl, it's usually, hi, how are you? Like, it's like normal, but
It's not
like
overly
it's
exaggerated. It's not
exactly.
neck popping,
Yeah. Hey,
hand waving. Oh my God, no, he was there. No,
And
it's just
yeah,
not
they
over the
always
top. Normal.
hey,
smiling. Like the
hey,
black women with white men always smiling. Like they got a big fat smile on their faces every time they're like, hi, or they're like, oh my God, can you get that book for me? They're always smiling. It's like they're always happy and
They got
they always natural. They have their natural hair out or they have like a natural style like braids and etc. And they're usually
hey,
dark skin or brown skin.
hey, let me welcome Alexander Brandon. Hey, brother,
Hi,
welcome to the show. Good
Alexander.
to see you.
Hey everybody. I actually been on here. It's been a before it's been a real long time. Um and I was doing other stuff. I actually started a YouTube channel, but and it's funny that black men are saying that white men and being with black women is white supremacy. And the thing of it is the black femicide rate is, going up. Like, I think it was last night, I found out that a a black man put actually poured a boiled water down his daughter's throat,
Ooh,
and no, and nobody talked about it. But I think it was one of the black women that talked about it on her panel. And you know it actually makes me, and it made me mad inside, because how come you say that it's the white man that's coming to get you and you up here killing your own? That's, and for the life of me, I do not know why, you know I do not know why people think that we can talk about white supremacy, but we can't talk about what's going on in our community. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm not on that pro black BLM stuff.
mm,
Yeah, I always tell black men like every time they're going to talk about this pro black or like every time they're going to shame a black woman for dating out and then they bring up white supremacy and all this and that. I told them your biggest issue is not white supremacy. I'm sure white supremacy is doing just fine. And white supremacy is doing just fine because you're doing their job easier than they could ever do. They don't have to lift a finger or try to threaten you. You do it on your own constantly. Your biggest fear and problem is yourself because a lot of you guys lack common sense and dignity and intelligence. And so I said, don't worry about white supremacy. Worry about your own community because we see
let,
how the community is.
hey, guys, let me tell you the truth about white supremacy. Okay. They want to be purely white. White supremacy is not coming after black people. White supremacy is coming after people like me that procreate with black women, or, you know, and they hate that more than white women with black men. They look at white women with black men as being rebellious. They don't like it, but when the white man does it, they hate it. And, you know, if it came to it, I'd rather be around black supremacists than white supremacists, because white supremacists would take me out. They hate me because they think I'm actually killing my race. Actually, they and I've had, I get some of real white supremacists go in on me and they tell me I'm committing what is it? Fratricide. What is that word?
Genocide?
Genocide. Yes, they tell me that, and they hate it. And and let me tell you, they don't want black and white people getting married. So this thing about black women, white men as white supremacy is totally a lie. It couldn't be further from the truth. White supremacy is what it is. They believe just white and white only. They believe white is superior. And when you step out and procreate with black people, you're a bigger target than any black person could ever be on this earth when you're dealing with real white supremacy. People throw that word around, just slinging it around. They don't even know what white supremacy is. But really, white supremacist is a very small minority of white people. It's most white people don't want to be associated with white supremacists because it makes us look bad. It makes us look like racist and idiots, and we don't like those people. We don't want nothing to do with them. But I just want to tell people what that really is, because it's just thrown around. Oh, he's a white supremacist, white supremacy, white supremacy. You really don't know what that is. And truth be told, I really don't know what it is. But from what I've seen from it, it's white people only. It's not trying to get at black families by throwing a white guy with a black woman. That's just stupid. That's not what they're about. In fact, they're totally opposite. I don't know where they even get that, where black women are white supremacists. But anyway,
I think white supremacy is basically a buzzword at this point, because that's just what I can say to get my point across. Hey, this is what this is. And it's just like, dude, racism exists. Yes. But it is not the reason for why you're not achieving what you need to achieve. It's not the reason why you can't do the things you need to do. It's just an excuse because you have victim mentality.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And eh, that's what I've started to see, because because how because how is Brett up here trying to stop you from accomplishing anything? I mean, and then they want to say every white man is racist when they're not, and basically, like, and they want to get rid of the police too. I mean, I last night a cop stopped my mother, and he was a nice person. So I really don't know what's wrong with people these days, black people these days. But the victim mentality is being played out. It is really being played out, because they only want to cover stories about what white people do, but not what black people do. And they want to cover, stories about what black women do, but not what black men do. And that's why I say, and this is why I, and like in my head, I I see a double standard going on here. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah, and for Sandy to be attacked by black men like that, okay, how come George Zimmerman is still out and about and no black man did nothing about that? How come, you know this is crazy? But like they want black women to be race loyal. They want them to, keep keep the race alive, and not go anywhere. So they will spew anything they can in order to get black women to stay.
Yeah.
The thing is that black men have come to expect black women to sacrifice. sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. And now we're done with the sacrificing and we're just like, look, you do you, boo, I'ma do me, and mama live my best life. Because you can't continue to do what you want to do and go the path you want to go and then try to keep me down at the same time. That's not how that works.
You know, people love for you to be miserable like them. And I just want to say, with the whole victim mentality, I always put the victim mentality in like an umbrella stuff. Like there's always something that's leading up to something. I think victim is on the top. Next is accountability. Under accountability is inferior complex. Under inferior complex is ego. Under ego is, it starts with the person themselves. But a lot of people don't want to admit that. And anyways, I just wanted to say that I noticed something when I was like just thinking about it while you guys were talking. I noticed that, you know, both races would actually be okay with like a different type of IR. Like I noticed in the white community, they'd be more something to a black um man and a white woman. You know, at first they'll look at the white woman as there's something wrong with you. They think that, but they would be more accepting to it because in their head there's like, yeah, we already know what goes in the black community already. We already know what kind of woman is uplifted. You know, I would say the number one woman uplifted in the black community is the white woman. But because there's not a lot of white women going there, the closest thing they can get to a white woman is a biracial. If there's
Yeah.
not much biracial, light skin. If it's not light skin, brown skin and dark skin is the last because it reminds them of black and etc. Right? So
Yeah.
they already know how the black community is, and they already know, and they already think, okay, yeah, he probably think white is better. So you know, and she knows white. She's white. It's in her culture. So both of them have a higher likeness towards whiteness. So we already got that couple. And the black community, what I would notice is they're also the same thing, but they think that the black guy will bring it home, but he's not bringing it home, you know? Both don't like black women and white men because in the white community, it's like, we already know how black women are. And I think some white men want to avoid this one that black women always like, they like how we're cultured. We always stick with the black culture, etc. But sometimes they don't like how, you know, black women can bring a whole community behind them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I'm a person that comes from a toxic background and a white guy is trying to help me, he would expect me to leave that toxicity back there, right? But for black women, many times black women bring black struggle towards that relationship that this white guy's trying to build with her. And I
Yeah.
realized that a lot of white guys don't like that. They don't want you bring this whole um social justice warrior, a
Yeah.
black woman warrior. They just want you to be a normal feminine and not even crazy feminine, but like they want you to be a normal woman, you know,
Yeah.
and not bring race into everything.
Mhm.
You,
Because
you,
I barely bring race with my boyfriend, and our relationship is
you
like
know what?
normal.
You know what? You hit the nail on the head. And let me tell you, from my dating experience and from a teenager, all my life, I've always had attraction to black women. But the black women I would stay away from is the woke ones, the ones, the social justice, because it seemed like when you date those type of women, it seems like they want you to have every bit of experience that they have and understand everything. And it's like difficult because being a white man with a black woman that wants you to know everything, you can't.
You can't
You
do
don't
it.
understand. And it's not that you don't have sympathy or you're a white supremacist somehow. No, it's just you don't understand. You don't know. And sometimes
Never
they
know.
put so much on you. And I think it's a lot of times that they really don't want to be with you. They're looking for a way out. They might be attracted to you because you're successful or you got a good job or you're doing something they like, but they still kind of put you on that, racist, that white supremacy, uh they kind of put you in that box, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
And and those type of relationships really don't work because you can't learn. It's like you're always being tested on how woke you are and how you got to understand how racist your whiteness is and your ancestors, all the evil they've done, and you got to take that all in and be apologetic. And yeah, that's so much to take in. And
That's too much
you
work.
know, it's not healthy because you feel like you're not good enough, and it always falls apart. And she feels you're not good enough because you don't understand her. And I've heard a lot of black women say, well, I stay with a black man because he understands my struggle, he understands what I go through. But I would say to them, he might understand, but does he care? Because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
men care for you and love you, they just might not understand. So I always tell people, think about that, because there are men out there that get with women that are on welfare, have children, and live off what the government gives that woman and her child. They use that to benefit themselves. There are men out there doing that. And we all know, we've seen them men, right? And they know what the young lady's struggle is being a single mother, but they really don't care. They're just looking out for themselves. So it takes more than understanding. You got to actually care.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And
but
not saying that white men wouldn't want to understand you. Like, I'm not saying that. They would be like, why are you da? And then you explain, like, okay, like it's something new to them. It's something they like probably may have not known. But if you're constantly, I mean, constantly every freaking second, every day, or every time you're hanging out, be like talking about some race stuff and, quote unquote woke stuff, it's like it's gonna get annoying. And it says like, can I actually get to know you as a person, and
yes,
it's like, let it go, girl.
yes, because it's like, how can I get to know? Color is not color is not the most important thing. It's just it happens to be that I'm black. It's not my end all. It's not my identity. My identity is a person that loves my fellow man, a person that wants to provide comfort and peace for my man. It's just I just happen to be black. It's like you have to find somebody that that you click with. That's why I say character over color all day every day.
Mhm.
So if you click with the person and you guys have similar beliefs religiously, if you have similar beliefs in how you approach things, if you the color is secondary, because yeah, because you're dating each other, it's going to come up, but it doesn't have to be in front of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, we have different experiences, etc. That's fine. We can acknowledge that. But let's not shove it in each other's face and etc. And I always tell black women this, that black women have this thing that other groups of women don't have, and this is why they have an upper leg on black women. Black women are, other groups of women are mostly women first before
Mhm.
their own race ethnicity. Black women are always race first before their women. And what I know is, and I always tell them, some things of why you and these other groups of men are not working sometimes is because you're always race first and not woman first. These men are men first, not race first, because I don't hear white guys be going crazy about their race. They're mostly talking about, I'm a man. I find women attractive. I don't care about your skin color, etc. I've always heard white guys say that, and they're like, if I have an interest in a woman, he never mentioned any race. He just said a woman, any woman. Then I'm going to treat her like a queen, etc. That's what I hear mostly white guys say. But black women are always like stuck with race. And I always tell them, you're losing because you're always obsessed with race. Some guys don't find that attractive. Like, it's okay to, tell them about, some racial differences here and there, but it's not your character. It's not what makes you you.
Yeah.
It's rather you, your race doesn't really define you. You have to be woman first also, and be smart in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the race loyal thing, I think a lot of black women, it's not, and this is my opinion. I could be wrong on this, but I think black women, a lot of them that are race loyal, it's not, I don't think it's so much that they just want to be, it's like they feel they have to be. And
Yes.
black women have a big heart. So, of course, they love their community and their family and everything. And I think a lot of black women want the black man to succeed really bad. And I think they want the black man to be on top and the best of the best. And they really want that. And that's not nothing wrong with that. But to get there, the woman can't carry you and make you the best. You have to do it as a man. Now, she can make you better than what you are from her love and support, yes. But the man has to do it. And it's possible. Look, we're all men. When it comes down to it, it's not your skin tone, it's not your ethnicity, it's the character you have inside that wins the day. And I just think that black women are just trying to get the men to be, and they'll uplift black men a lot, and they'll even put other black women down. They'll even put themselves down. It's like they fall on the sword
Mm-hmm.
for the black man, and nothing wrong with loving the men in your community, but you got to let them do it. Does that make sense? If you
Yeah.
want them to be the best, they have to be the best. And to be the best is making the best decisions. It
I think a lot of times black women want the best for the person that they're with, and of course they want the best for their community.
yeah,
But if the person that you want the best for, because I had this situation with somebody I dated, I wanted more for him than he wanted for himself.
yeah.
And no matter how much I may want it for you, unless you want it, it's not gonna work. And because, unfortunately, a lot of black men want to get by on what they can do, the least amount that they can do. They don't have the same mentality of getting ahead. Now, there are some black men that do have that mentality, but a lot of them don't. So I'm
You know
not
what?
saying all, but a lot don't.
What I think's going on, what you said, is that black women are lifting them up so much that when black women's doing the work, what do I got to do?
I've been telling
They
them
got-
that. I've been telling black women this.
Huh?
I've been telling black women this constantly. I'm like, if you prop up and keep praising and keep making excuses and doing certain people's work constantly and they don't have to do anything, when you are at your lowest point or when you may not feel like doing this here and there, they're going to be entitled and expect you to do it. They think it's natural for you, for such to happen, and they will literally throw tantrums. Hence, what's going on today about them complaining because black women had enough.
You know what I would say to pro-black women that want to be race loyal? I say date black men like you would do a white man. Hold him up to the same standard. Make sure he's not a fetishizer. Okay? Check him on that. Make sure he's not a racist. And you say, well, wait a minute, they're the same race. Well, yeah, you can be biased against your own group of people. You can hate your own. So check them on that. Treat them like you would treat a white man if you were going to open up your options.
Yeah.
Are you fetishizing me? Or you know what I mean? Because that's thrown out there loosely. Oh, white men are fetishizing. Well, okay, all men do this. All people fetishize. It's not something.
It's just what it is.
It just it's just silly to listen to it. It's like you're going in on this group of men for fetishization, but then a black man turns around and tells you you got a nice butt, and uh what is I mean, the definition of fetishizing is what? Sexual gratification on a body part, looking at somebody as an object instead of a person. Isn't that what that is?
Yeah. And the thing about it is that no matter who you date, no matter what color they are, you have to vet. And vetting is not a fast process. It is a slow process. And because you have to take note of inconsistencies. You have to take note of things that just don't add up. And if somebody says, "Oh, I'm willing to do this at the beginning," and then 3 months later, they're doing something different. "Oh, I never said that." No, I would never given you a chance if you hadn't said XYZ. So you have to vet. And it doesn't matter what color they are, because foolishness is foolishness across the board.
It is.
Can I
But
just say that? Go ahead, go
yeah.
ahead. No, no,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Mine, I will go on a whole drag. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Um, all right, I'm good.
Oh, okay, okay. But I was gonna say, maybe it's just me, but one thing I also noticed about why white men and black women is very successful, relating back to the topic, is that first off, what black women usually ask for in a man is what white men give. Now, I'm not saying all white men are perfect. Like, you have to vet someone. There are dusty white men, there's white
Yes.
pookies, but
I ran into one of those.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
there's
yes, I
those.
know.
But, they're like, I would say, actually, there's bad ones. But, with the good ones here and there's a reason why their relationships work with black women, because black women, what they always say they want in a man is what white men can give, the positive ones, except black women wouldn't want to look that way because, oh, he's white, and kind of being racist. But also, white men, another point I was making about it also was about how white men is not race first in some situations, when they're like saying, you know what, I don't care. They're just men first. And many white men that I come and interact with, they're mostly conservative, and they mostly have this traditional value and chivalry and manhood and etc. And I'm a conservative woman, and I would say I understand their part. They want to take care of you. They want you to be, loved and adorned, and they want you to feel like a woman. They want you to feel happy. They don't want to be arguing with you back and forth. They don't want you stressing. They want you to be home, cooking and cleaning and being feminine, resting your femininity and etc. And they want to have that bravado of being a champion and a man. They want that. They're crazy about that. And that's what black women been asking. But because black women don't have much access to it and been conditioned to not think that's what women should get, even though other groups of women be getting it from their men, black women are slow on the race. But if black women do open up their options and stop being obtuse and stop thinking you're supposed to get less and you're supposed to get struggle and difficulties, I guarantee you and white men, you guys are already the power couple based on marriage alone. But the more of you that open up your mind, the more peace you can get as a black woman. And white men are open to it. They're open to it, but they always say the problem is you guys always reject them. So you have to kind of think on yourself also.
You know what? I want to say something, and I believe this to be true. The reason interracial marriages isn't higher with black women and white men is not white men not willing, it's black women.
Hmm.
Black women hold the key. And, I know some black women, have grown up and been conditioned to believe white men don't want them and this and that. But truth be told, they've done so many studies and they found that white men are more willing to date black women than black women are willing to date white men. And I think it has a lot to do with shaming, because if I date black women, or I have a black wife, nobody really gives me crap. They don't. I do what I want. Seriously. They'll give me crap on YouTube, yeah, because there's weirdos out there. But really, in my community where I live, nobody tells me nothing. Black people don't tell me nothing. White people don't. I just do what I do. And maybe it's because where I live, people don't care about interracial relationships. They don't have a problem with it. When I say they don't care, they don't have a problem. Um, so I pretty much have done what I want to do in my life. I've chose my path. I love black women and I pursue black women and I'm married to a black woman.
I'd say
And
the number one starter of where it goes is inferior complex.
yeah, but I think for black women it's harder because, and I don't think it's so much they don't want to do it. I think they get shamed so much and people give them so much crap that they're reluctant to do it. Even though the marriage rates ain't so good in the black community, even though black women outnumber black men, still they get a lot of crap for doing it. And it's sad and it's wrong. And I think it needs to end. It needs to stop because we should
A
be
lot.
focused on people finding somebody that loves them rather than being race loyal. I mean,
I think a lot is fear as well,
yeah, fear.
because fear can get in the way of your own personal success and your own belief in yourself, because you are afraid of being happy. You are afraid um, of what life could be, and you feel safer in what you know. And if you feel safer in what you know, you won't step out on faith, and you will let fear dictate um, what goes on in your life.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
because a lot of times you won't take that extra step. You may want to really, do this thing, but there's fear in you and you won't do it. And because fear keeps you safe. And I think that's a lot of it as well.
And it's
Yeah,
also black women not being selfish. That's also a point. Like you have to be selfish at one point in life to get ahead sometimes, because black women are always wanting to save everybody, yet roles reverse, no one will save you. They will only save their own. And that's the problem right there. Black women always want to save certain people in the community, and those people are not even gonna save you. They're saving their own. Like literally, if you don't see that, then that's problematic. Black women want to, save this race, but other people in the race is not going to save their own. You're not being selfish when things are right. You have to be selfish. You have to be like, you know what? I'm selfish. And I say I'm selfish too, because I'm like, okay, I'm selfish. As a woman, I'm selfish. I will get the best guy for the job. That's just how I am. I don't care if he's purple or he's orange or if he's teal or he's clear. He just has to be the right man for a job. And black women, um, hence not being like other women who are also selfish because they use a lot of things to their advantage. And black women always want to, you know, um, have a sassy, have an attitude when, you know, these things are in your favor. They are behind. So what, a white guy like you? Be selfish and freaking like talk to him and see what he's about. If he's good, he's good. It doesn't matter the color of his skin. And like I said, it's very racist when you are doing that, when you actually don't want to date someone for their skin color. But I guess roles reverse, people automatically know racism. But it's okay if black women are racist to white guys though, and I call it bluff. Like black women have to be selfish. You have to be selfish as a woman also to get ahead sometimes.
hmm And it's not in our nature to be selfish. And so that's like, you're asking me to go against my nature to do something for me when I make sure that everybody else around me is okay before I make sure that I'm okay.
Well,
You
women
know,
are nurturers by nature, but sometimes women have to play ahead and try to be in the best situations, rather that be because I would say women natural instinct is survival, whether that be trying to be independent, trying to get your own stuff, you're still trying to survive, or whether you're with a man, etc., you're going to try to find a good man to try to survive. So black women are also going and they're against their nature when they don't want a good mate to try to survive for because he's white. You know, I get it that you would want to help others, but you also, as a woman, you have to also try to help yourself. And the point where I was saying was like, when are you going to do something for yourself and stop doing it for other people when those same people are not going to do it for your own? You for you also, you have to be smart and play the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, you ladies are you're hitting facts. Yeah.
It's
Hey, Alexander, you want to say something, brother? I know you can you can jump in anytime. I know we get long winded. Yeah.
Uh,
But
oh,
yeah,
I'm here. Um, I'm just enjoying the conversation, and you know,
okay. Okay. No worries. Yeah, anytime you want to jump in, just jump in. We'll I don't want to, but yeah, because we get talking sometimes. But if you want to add something, just you know,
okay.
anytime. But it's
I
good to have you on. Go ahead,
Mhm.
I do
Afro.
think that more Black women are waking up
Mhm.
to the reality that Black men may not have their best interests at heart, and that they need to start looking out for themselves because um, if the life that they want to live, they can't live that life with a Black man because not all Black men are trying to be the best man that they can be. Um,
Yeah.
and so when you wake up to that realization, you have to say, well, what man is going to, give me that dream? So you have to start waking up to that.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Ray says it's God's plan. Black women, white men are the restorers of the relationship, will heal and restore much that is missing in society today. Wow. You know what? I agree with what Michael Ray said. I think we're the blueprint when it comes to black women and white men. And here's the reason why. And, I want every relationship to work. I want every marriage to be successful, whether it's black people, white people, Asian. I think God wants that for all of us, to come together as men and women and get married. And it don't matter the combination. But I think black women and white men are making the best decisions. Okay. Black men and white women have been doing it a lot more than black women, white men, but their results, their success rate is a lot less. It's not doing as good. And I think what's going on, and it's not the people, like, it's not that these people are better than the others. It's just this group is making better decisions. Black women, white men are more successful, not because they're better as people, because I don't think God puts value of one group above the other. No. But where you get the most success is the choices you make in life. And black women and white men are being more strategic. They're going beyond the physical attraction in most cases. So they're more successful. and that's a blueprint. And instead of hating, see what they're doing right and go that direction. It's like when I look at economics, right? The most successful people in America, it's not white people. Okay. Some people, a lot of people think it is, but it's actually Asian. Okay.
Mhm.
Economically, they're doing better than all groups, right? So I could hate them for it or, be upset with them because I'm not as successful. Or I can look and see, okay, what are they doing that's right? What are they doing that's making sense? How can I be successful too? And then I can say, you know what? And I've observed Asian people, I really have. And you know what they do? They're high on education. And you know what? I'm high on education with my family. All my kids are, college educated. You know what they do a lot is they have their kids learn an instrument. Well, I did that. I had my daughter learn the piano, and my son plays the guitar. And I had him, I just take some of their examples and try it in my, and you know what? It's successful. It really is. And you know what? A black man with a white woman could say, you know what? Keisha and Brad are successful. Why? What are they doing that's right? Okay, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should vet better instead of just getting together because we're attracted to each other. Maybe we should see that. Does that make any sense? It's like
Makes sense. It makes sense, but you also have to keep in mind that unfortunately a lot of black men think that they know best about everything and are not willing to learn from others.
Oh my God, girl,
They're so
I
arrogant.
hate that, yo. They all be like, "Oh, you guys are always feminine and submissive with white men, though." And then I'm like, do y'all ever ask why? Because a lot of black women are literally telling you the answer. Yeah, you guys, it still goes over your head and it goes in your butt and out your mouth, and you don't have anything like they do not learn. Like black women say, well, when we're with white men, we can take out our hair and not be judged for it. We're not judged for our skin color because it's not light skin or you know we could wear wigs or braids, etc., and a white man will still love us. Um, we can actually stay home, and a white guy will be provider. We could do all this and this and that, and etc. But when you tell them the whys, they're always like, "No, y'all just don't like black men. Y'all don't like black men. Y'all don't like black men." And it's like, at this point, just stop talking to them. Just stop talking to them.
Because they don't know how to listen. They
But
don't know how to listen,
hey,
absorb, and move and use the information given to them in a practical manner.
yeah,
you know
yeah.
guys. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Um, um, you know, yeah, and the problem is black men do not listen. I was on Themis. I was watching Themis and Thought
Uh-huh.
today, and Umar Johnson. He was reacting to Umar Johnson. Um, Umar Umar is acting up real bad, and
Every day.
exactly. And the thing of it is, he thinks he knows economics, but in actuality, how would he know about economics if you know if he don't even see what's going on? And then it's like he said that that feminism is this out here, this public um outside thing. And then he said the black men is like in the back. I don't and I don't get this. It's like black men are trying really hard to to actually guilt trip black women, and to me, that's like insanity, if you ask me. And and like the the new Little Mermaid movie. I saw the cast, and it's not, the prince is not a black guy, and I don't feel no type of way about it. I said, okay, okay, okay. I mean, it would be nice if they created a new character that actually had a non-black man as a love interest, but I'm okay with that. I'm good either way. So it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah. You know
And
what? Speaking of the Little Mermaid, I was kind of excited. Okay, there's a black girl as a mermaid. I don't know what the thing was about it. Uh,
People
I don't
say
know.
her race is white, even though mermaids don't have a race, and it was never mentioned.
I
and it's not. This is like the second wave of outrage, because when she was first cast, there was a wave of outrage. It just wasn't as bad as it is now.
Yeah, you know what? No, but I think it's good. I wish Wonder Woman would be a black woman. I'm just saying.
I mean, she was from the Amazon, so she should be brown. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, and Jasmine is supposed to be a brown woman also, but yeah, she's not brown. She's a whole white passing woman,
oh,
literally.
Jasmine
So
from
Hey,
Aladdin.
She's
yeah,
from the Middle
like
East.
I,
it's a
I,
light
There's
white
generally
Yeah,
woman.
brown.
I think
I,
Middle Eastern, right? Because they're from Iraq because they're in Baghdad, right?
They're
uh,
Middle Eastern, so they should be brown.
Yeah, they
I
should.
think it's Aquabar. I think that's what it is.
Hmm
Um, Oh man, it's been a long time since I've watched the new one and the original. It's been a real long time. I maybe I should start watching that again. Uh, I, I'm gonna watch the original one first, and that's what I'll do. And yeah, I grew up with Jasmine being brown too, so it didn't make sense what they did to this movie. And
Yeah.
now I'm not downplaying Will Smith's acting abilities on that. I'm not doing that, but Will Smith as the genie in the new Aladdin movie. Yeah, I mean, if Robin Williams would have lived, I would have loved to see him as the genie. I
Oh
would
yeah,
have
he
loved
was
to
a
see.
good genie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he
He was
was.
a
He was
he
funny.
was he was a good genie on the cartoon.
Yeah.
I love them.
You know what I want to see, and I'm on. You know what? I'm going to create this if they don't freaking do it because it's really making me mad. I want a superhero. I want an interracial superhero with a black woman, white man, super like a dynamic duo, and
I
I
think
just
they
want to do this, and I
I,
haven't seen it. I
I
know
think
they
they
did
did it,
prototypes on this, but it never took off.
but it didn't take off. I can't remember which person it was that had a black it was a white guy, he had a black girlfriend. Can't remember what it was.
I mean,
But then
Iron Fist, like Iron Fist, he had, him and Misty Knight was, in a relationship in the comic books. So,
Yeah.
and then Batman and Catwoman had their tension.
Oh, and you know what? I look. Hey, look to tell you how much Captain Swirl and Lady Swirl. Yeah. Hey, Captain Swirl. I'm gonna make a comic book of Captain Swirl. I'm going to do it. Yeah. You know what though? Hey, you know what? I was watching YouTube and I got offended on this, and this kind of triggered me in a way because I heard black women say, these white guys that tell you ladies that they only want to be with black women and that's all they want, nothing else. She was like putting it down like it's a red flag, like it's a fetishization. And I've heard a number of black women saying that. I'm like, no, stop. That ain't true. Because I'm in that category. And you know what I see in black women? It goes beyond the physical. You know, it goes to the character, how loving they are, the spirituality they have. You know how loving they are. I feel more comfortable around black women than any group of women, and even just as friends, because there's something about them. Black women are easygoing, they're loving. Yeah, there's some black women that aren't so nice. I get it, but the women, a lot of the women I've been around are awesome to be around, just to talk to, and I'm attracted to that. It goes beyond the fetishization, what they try to make it to be. You know, I just seen the true beauty in black women as a young boy, and that's all I want to be around. Am I weird? Is something wrong? I thought growing up something was wrong with me, and I tried dating white women, and it just never went nowhere because my heart wasn't in it. And no matter how I tried to fit this thing that people told me I'm supposed to be like, I couldn't do it.
That's because you gravitate to love, and that's what that
And
is.
I do, and that's what and my experience with love has been with black women, from my babysitter at 5 to black women in church to where, look, it is what it is. That's where my heart is, and it's always been that way, and it always will be that way. And I've been married over 28 years, so it's
You're doing something right.
yeah. I mean,
Yep.
how I feel and what I'm doing must be all right because it's working out pretty nice.
Oh, and Storm and Wolverine did have a story arc, so
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
that
Halle Berry was Storm. Yeah. You know what? And I always liked Batman when Eartha Kitt was Catwoman. I thought, yeah, she was the best Catwoman, wasn't she?
guess she was hands down.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to watch the Batman series then, because when I was growing up, I only know Michael Keaton as Batman, Val Kilmer, and and George Clooney,
Yeah.
and and um and Christian Bale. I didn't even watch
Oh,
the original one.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
Josh
Yeah.
Josh is right because you have Spider-Man and Zendaya in the movie as MJ.
Cousin is not black.
She's not. She's mixed. She's biracial.
Yeah, so I would love a
So,
black woman with the
but
afro and etc. I would love that black
I
A
woman.
black
understand.
woman,
I
that dark
understand that, but people treat Zendaya as if she is black. They don't treat her as if she's about. I mean, so
Oh, hold on now, because in the comic books, Spider-Man was with the woman eh, who was Captain Marvel. Her name, and she was black too. I'm trying to figure out her name right now. It was oh yeah, it was Monica Rambeau, and she was a black woman, and Peter, had an interest in her too. And now those are the Spider-Man comic books that no one knows. I think other people know about, but the new generation doesn't.
the Flash and Iris.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
Can I just say that white men and black women are literally different sides, and ignore the background noise, it's my fan, but they are literally like on the same coin, but they're just different sides of the same coin. Like black women are heads and white men are tails. No sexual puns intended. right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're just vibe. They're like yin and yang. They're like salad dressing to salad. They're like shoes and feet. It goes along with each other, and that's why they work. They're literally the same people, but they have their community trying to, make them not come in contact because the community know what will happen if white men and black women get in contact. They can't be stopped.
Yeah,
No.
look, that's like I say that white men provide and protect, and black women provide and protect. And the thing about it is that white men their provide and protect is physical, and black women's provide and protect is mental,
And
Mhm.
emotional.
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental and emotional.
There's this phrase that says, it's this question, but also like a quote that says, "What happened if a unstoppable force move an immovable object?" That's what I see black women and white men as. Whether black men and black women, sorry, black women are the force or the object. It's just that at a point they have to come in contact, and a reaction is going to come out of it. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree.
You know what? Speaking about comic books, I looked at old comic books of Batman. You remember the old ones when they didn't have the Batmobile, they just drove around in a regular car? You
Oh
know,
man,
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
I I did not know such thing existed. I mean the original Batman comic books. I just know the ones that I knew growing up. So it is
Uh,
what it is.
but the older ones when it was like in the 50s, I think they had a even the Batman shows, they drove around in a regular car back in the day. And
You know what? I think it was a regular car, but it had like super high fins.
yeah, that might have been it. But I noticed in the comic books, when you look at Catwoman, it seems like she's darker complected. And,
Hmm.
and I've asked people about this. Is that supposed to be a black woman? And they say, no, no, it's, but I kind of think it was because when you show, and there have been black Catwoman, so I think it originally was supposed to be. Just maybe back in the day, with racism and stuff, maybe they just pushed it out. But
Hmm.
I think it was meant to be because Batman and Catwoman had something special. And Catwoman was conflicted between good and evil, right?
Hmm.
And they had an attraction. And I think Catwoman originally, I could be wrong, was supposed to be a black woman that he was in love with, but it was forbidden. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
I,
You have
I,
to
I
think about
think
the
there
time
was
where
a
it came
theme
out.
behind it.
But Michael Ray said the original Catwoman was black.
Oh, was she? Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Wait, the original was black. Oh, oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that makes me curious. If the original Catwoman was black, why are people getting mad about the Little Mermaid, even though like they made the Catwoman a white woman ever since?
You
I
know,
don't.
when people have this idea of what they think something should be, when you upset that ideal, people get upset. So even though the mermaid is a fictional character, then you would think that it wouldn't matter. That's just like there was a TikTok about this white chick. She was upset when she went to go see the Harry Potter play that Hermione Granger was portrayed by a black woman. And
Hmm.
in Harry Potter, Hermione Granger was never described as being white or black. But if you actually read her description from the book, you would actually think of her as a little black girl.
Girl, don't listen to those people. Even if there's like something that mentions someone's race, they still would be mad. I remember people got mad about Rue from the Hunger Games being black. Like clearly people like, I'm not going to watch the Hunger Games
Oh,
because Rue's
really?
black. Yeah, even though the book even
What?
like put her as like mentioned her race being black, people are like, I'm not going to watch the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games would have been better if Rue wasn't black, etc. I'm like, what is wrong with you people?
But you know what? That seems kind of crazy in today's world because I remember back in the day, right when I was little, back in the 70s, I remember we watched black TV shows. We watched the Jeffersons. Me and my family, we thought it was funny. We didn't
Mhm.
even think about them being black people. We watched Good Times. That was funny. We never. It wasn't a thing. We watched the Cosby Show in the 80s, and we loved it. So
Everybody watched the Cosby Show.
yeah, everybody
Mhm.
did. You're right. Dan,
Yep, I
I,
did too.
huh?
But that's like with Catwoman, they keep flip flopping Catwoman. She's black, she's white. She's black, she's white. They don't know what they want to
Catwoman's
do
black,
with the
and you know
black
what?
woman.
Hey, I'm going to fight people if they're going to make her white. Catwoman's black. Just let her be black. Leave her alone. Okay.
Because I think it's like
Yeah.
if you look at the movie series, she was what? She was white, then she was black, and
Yeah.
then now she's also, I think, was it Zoe Kravitz was supposed to be black Catwoman?
I don't know.
But hey,
I don't
they don't
know.
know what they want to do.
Really, when it comes to fictional characters, who cares, really? I mean,
Exactly. When it comes to fictional characters, they can really be any color because they're fictional. They're not
yeah.
based off of a real person.
Mhm.
Now, how about how about if they made the Black Panther a white guy?
Oh, there would be so
People would be rioting in the streets, wouldn't they?
yes, there would be. There would be so much. Oh my goodness.
But you know what? I wouldn't mess with that though, because that
The
would make,
internet would crash.
yeah. I mean, but I was just thinking, like something like that. I could say don't mess with that because of the culture and where it takes place. But like the mermaid, who cares?
Hmm.
Uh, who's the
It's
other
a
one?
fish.
Yeah,
It's she was the best she was the best person that auditioned for, like, if somebody better auditioned for it, then they would have given it to her, but she had the best voice, she had the best audition, and so she got the part.
hmm,
You know, if you put a white, if they had like made a white girl got the role and the white girl can't sing, they're gonna complain be like, why didn't you get a person that can sing? Or if you made the white girl just don't have everything, they're going to complain about it. You have a person that can sing, that matched the role, that's etc., but she's just black, and mind you, her race was never mentioned. I'm tired of them using that argument of, well, she's Danish. There's black Danish people. And if they're going to use the whole originality concept, Ariel was never a redhead. Ariel was originally blonde, but Disney made her
Mhm.
redhead. So it's kind of hypocritical. They're talking about originality when
hey,
the originality is not even original.
Yes, and
hey,
it's like, oh, her hair is not red enough.
you
What?
know what's funny is somebody said it would be funny if they rebooted the Jeffersons as a white George. Yeah, but he couldn't. You know how George would call what was it
Was
his
he, I think he called her honky
yeah, honky. I
or
don't think
cracker.
that would work with the white guy because he couldn't say no
He couldn't say no
racial.
explicitives.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's funny how you could get away with saying like certain things back then you would never be able to get away with saying right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know, honky. I would never take offense. That wouldn't bother me. I'd be like, "Pff, whatever. Or cracker. I'm like, okay. Um, And I know how the names came from both. If you want me to tell you, honky and cracker, where they came from.
I was called the N word by a black man.
Huh?
I was called the N word with the hard R by a black man once.
All right.
Wrong.
Hey, let me say this to white people: the N word you're not allowed to use. I don't care if your friends allow it. I don't think there's no. And here's my thing: there's no good way to say it. Whether you do the A or the ER or whatever that thing is, just don't even say it at all. If you're white, you don't have the right to say it. I believe in equal opportunity, but when it comes to that word, you should feel the same way. And if you want to use it, I would say, why do you really want to use it? I'm just saying.
My thing on that particular word is because when I didn't know what it was the first time I heard it, and when I looked it up, the definition was an ignorant person.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't a good. The original word wasn't a good word. It was to degrade people.
it didn't even say, it didn't assign a color, it didn't assign anything. It just said it was an ignorant person. So when I come across ignorance, I might actually call somebody that word. It doesn't even matter what color they are if they're acting ignorant.
Yeah,
Because I've called a former president that. So it's not the last one, but it is not for me. I don't have that connotation. So, but I understand that the world at large has that connotation associated
yeah.
with a certain group of
And,
people.
and you know what? I've had this discussion with black people. I say that word is so horrible. Why would you? I know you'll get mad with white people saying it because it's automatically racist, and white people shouldn't even want to say that word. But why do you use it? I've asked black people this, and they say, "Well, it we use it, we made it into a positive." I've heard people tell me that. And I says, "Yeah, but the original meaning is so horrible. Why would you even, wouldn't you just do away with the word and not even say it?" But it's in slang, but I mean, they can do that if they want to. I'm just
It's so
curious.
ingrained, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just a
And
slang word that,
until we eliminate it from our vocabulary, it's still gonna float around.
I only use that word when I'm like calling someone stupid.
Yeah.
But if like when I see them talking, they're like, "Yo, what's up, ma?" And then I'm like shaking my head. I don't use it like just constantly everyday conversations. If you irk me to a point because you're being stupid, I'm going to call you that because that's what it means.
It means you're acting ignorant. So I'm gonna call you ignorant. That's just my way of calling you ignorant.
yeah.
But that's just because usually it'll be a point of um exasperation. Be like, say the word, it's just like, please. Really? Just said that.
Yeah, it comes out of habit. I know. Black people use it in slang and they call it but white people don't try to be cool with black people and use that word because it's not going to go good for you. It's not.
No, it's gonna be like a record scratch.
Yeah, it's like
And
you
all
walk in the
eyes
room.
on you.
It's going to be like and you know what? White people like me are going, if you get punched in the face, we're just going to laugh at you because if you're stupid enough to go there. I'm just saying.
And yes, if you're Hispanic, you can't use it either. There's white
Yeah,
Hispanics.
that's true.
I dumped someone because of that. They use the N word. I'm like, you ain't black. You like, I'm Hispanic. We're cousins. I'm like, no, you're white Hispanic dude. You're not black. And then I blocked them, and then I dumped them, and I felt so great.
Well, hey, speaking of that, if you're Hispanic, you really shouldn't use it because the Spanish slave trade was a lot larger than the American slave trade. Just saying. How do you think South America has so many black people and the Caribbean and stuff?
Hmm.
So yeah, you really shouldn't use that word. But
No,
anyway, I I don't want to get off into this, but um, yeah,
we have gone all the way around the mulberry bush today.
yeah, we've been around the world with this topic. But hey, the thing of it is look, I promote interracial relationships with black women and white men. And the reason is, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not because I'm a white man that loves black women, because I am a white man that loves black women. But the reason I really embrace it and promote it and encourage it is because black women, and I'm going to be honest, this is how I feel, I believe it to be true. Black women are the least protected, most neglected, most disrespected. I believe that to be true. And black women are the most beautiful, most successful, and black women adapt and overcome more than any other group of people.
Thank
And
you.
I promote it because I think black women should have more choices when it comes to love and marriage of any group of men. I think black women are the best of the best, thus should have the best choices, should be on the top of the top because they are the best. Seriously. I mean, and that's why I really promote it. I'm not trying to get a bunch of white guys with black women. That's not what it's about. It's about, I think black women should have the pick of the pick. I
Thank you,
do.
Brett.
And the thing of it is, and here's another thing. When it comes to black love, I pray for black love. I want black love to succeed. Okay. Some people think I'm against it. No, I'm not. I wish it was at 80% or 90%. That way, black women would have a chance to have a husband, a family, and live that nuclear family, and also be able to open up their options too. I pray for that every day. Unfortunately, in the black community, the marriage rate's at 30%, and black women are being left by the wayside. And I look at it as a form of abuse because a lot of black women want to be married, have a family, and live that life. I don't believe that 70% of black women just don't want to get married. That to me is BS. So I promote opening up the options for everybody. I do because I think marriage is where we need to go in our country, in our communities, because it'll make us better. It'll make our children better and have more opportunities, feel more love, be more secure. And that's across the board. But I think black women are getting the short end of the stick and have been forever. So I
Mm-hmm.
think black women deserve the best because they are the best. And I'm not just blowing smoke because my wife is black. I'm just saying this is how I feel. And look, I can live my life and not talk about this. I'm living my best life with my wife. I got the best. But I think every black woman should have the opportunity to live her best life with whoever she wants to be with. And I'm not seeing that happening in today's world. Alexander dropped off. I don't know if he accidentally
And
dropped off, but that's how I feel, and that's why I promote it. It's not about being in competition with black men to get black. No, 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 no. I love black women because they are the most beautiful, because they are the most loving, they are the most nurturing, they are the most spiritual, and I love black women for that, and always will till the day I die. And I think they should have everything they want. And I think God's going to move and give black women that that option, you know, and that would be just.
and oh, Alexander said he had to go.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for coming on, Alexander. It was good talking to you, and
Night,
you're welcome
Alexander.
here anytime. Go ahead.
Brent, you are a
Yeah.
breath. You are a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
And the reason why you attract so many Black women to your channel is because you give us so much love, and it's done in a respectful way that it's like you're not pandering to us, but you're just expressing who you are and why you love Black women so much. And it's one of the reasons why if a Black woman is on the fence about dating out, dealing with listening to you and listening to your channel, it will allow her to go over the fence, to open up her options, because I was that person. I was on the fence, and just listening to you and listening to the different things that were going on in your channel pushed me over to taking that step, because I can tell you I grew up with you are not bringing, if it ain't Black, you ain't bringing it home. So you it's to go against family, to go against everything you were raised doing is not an easy choice. And
it's not.
so to be able to know that you have a community that will lift you up and that will not bring you down for the choices that you're making for love is a wonderful thing. And we
I
appreciate it. I know I do.
appreciate that, but
I do.
you know what? That's just how I feel, and my life reflects that. Look at my wife. We've been married over 28 years, and and the thing about Black women that always attracted me, it wasn't the outward appearance, though that is attractive. It was the heart that Black women have. It's the love Black women have. That's really the true attractive. Of course, Black women are the most beautiful, hands down. But that's what really got me. That's what really, and when I say I gave my heart to Black women at 5 years old, I literally did. I'm just saying. Um, and people have thought I was weird all my life. But now people understand where I'm coming from later on.
You had to make a believer out of them.
Yeah, and that feels pretty good. Um, but I appreciate, Angelique, what you said. I humbly, you know, take that, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we got Southern Sweet Tea. Welcome to the panel.
Hi, thank you for
Hi.
having me.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Brent?
I'm doing okay.
Okay. Number one, thank you for seeing our beauty and singing our praises. It's a lovely bell that we don't often hear. So thank you for that. And just I'm kind of going back to the very beginning with the TikToks when you talk the one about how to approach Black women, and very much so lead with a compliment and show a genuine interest in her. But at the end of it, make sure you give a little hook. You have to set that action. Like, can I exchange numbers with you? Would you like to go out? You have to make that move at the end.
Yeah.
Especially if you, number one, it shows her that you're interested truly. And it's not just a compliment. You're not just being nice. You're actually interested in her. She's
Yeah.
beautiful, and you want more than that with her. And it doesn't put her in a position to have to say that, which we're often, as Black women, put in that position. We have to be the ones to lead. We have to do everything. And it's nice to have someone lead us.
Yes.
Mm.
So
That is
that's all I
so
got.
true.
Oh,
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, but You know what? And that's true. And if you're going to make your move and tell her how beautiful she is and give her a compliment, you want a part two to that. And what you said with the hook, yeah, that makes perfect sense because you want to at least get a phone call. And if you're interested, and I tell people so many times they ask me, and I have younger men that ask me at work, well, how do you talk to black women? I said, how do you talk to women? Just, she's a woman. Just give her love and respect. See how that goes. Well, should I act a certain way? No. And this is what I think a lot of white men, get in trouble because they think they have to act a certain way. No, just be yourself. Either she's interested or she's not. And here's the thing: when you be yourself and you're loving and respectful, it makes it so much easier. Even if she rejects you, she's not going to be motivated to kick you to the curb as much. And if she's interested, I mean, you just hit a home run. If she's interested in you a little bit and you just tell her how beautiful she is and you're respectful and you show her love, I mean that can lead to a awesome relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so many black women they have told me they just want white men to be themselves. They know you're a white guy. Be a white guy. Just be you.
Goofy is cute.
And what's funny is when I approach my wife and I tell the story, every so often. I was so nervous. I was stuttering. I was in my mind. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm looking stupid." She thinks I'm an idiot. This ain't going to work, and all this stuff is going in my head. And little did I know that it was attractive to her because she told me. She says, "Well, when you approach me, I could tell you had love for me. I could tell in your eyes." I might, and I asked her, did you understand what I was saying? No, I could see it in your eyes. And, 5 months later, I married her and we've been married over 28 years. So, sometimes not being smooth with the words, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes just being human and stuttering and, trembling a little bit. Sometimes, women are attracted to that, and the thing of it is I was being myself. I was my genuine self. I wasn't smooth with the words. I was struggling, but I did it. I approached her. I talked to her, and it paid off. So I would say to other men, just be yourself and approach.
Yeah, be yourself. That's my boyfriend also. He was like, "Oh my God, I didn't expect you to like me." And then I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, because you're a black woman." And I'm like, "What that mean?" Like, well, usually black women don't date white guys. And then I'm like, "Well, you haven't met me," because you know, there's always this whole thing. White guys already assume that we don't like them, and sadly,
Yeah.
I get it. Like, majority of black women are not dating out. But at least try. You never know. If he didn't try, I wouldn't be, um having butterflies and jumping on my bed because I'm happy to be with him. I wouldn't be doing that. Just be yourself and try. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. God have a plan, and I guess you dodged a bullet, I guess.
Hey, Brent. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on the panel. I'm going to drop down.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. And
All right.
you're welcome anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Have a good night.
Night.
You know what, guys? I'm gonna have to end this. This is getting late.
Yeah.
I have to go. But thanks for having me on and thanks for the great conversation and know that you are appreciated in
Oh,
this
thank you so
space
much.
because you've created a safe space for Black women, and that is hard to find.
I appreciate that. Thanks for coming on. And DK dropped off. Good night, young lady. Afro Angelique, thank you so much for coming on. And thanks to Afro Angelique. Have a good night. Thank you, Sweet Tea and DK and Alexander Brannon. This was fun tonight. Oh, you love the show. Thank you so much. Hey guys, I enjoyed tonight, and this is what it's about: having a conversation. And I enjoyed having everybody on, ladies and Alexander, sir. It was a awesome discussion. I had a good time, and I'm very blessed to have this channel. You guys that come on, and the panel discussions are always my favorite. I love making videos, and I like doing lives where I just talk, but nothing beats a good panel where I get everybody's perspective and we talk, and that's the fun in it, and that's the true blessing. And guys, I tell you, this YouTube thing, I enjoy it. It's a blessing, and you guys have made this great. And I don't make much money doing this. This is just a hobby, but as much fun and as awesome as this is, I would pay to do this. I would pay money to be able to do this. I really would. And I shouldn't be telling YouTube this because it might get ideas charging content creators. But seriously, I would, because I enjoy this so much. This is, something I love to do. I love having interaction. I love sharing my stories, my life story, my interracial dating as a teenager till I got married. And, I love sharing my life story. And my wife, Sandy, comes on every now and then, and that's awesome. It's truly a blessing. YouTube sometimes, it gets you here and there, and you got to take a break. But you guys make this so awesome, and you make this better than I ever thought it would be. And this is a true blessing. And I love you guys. You are a blessing to me. And, I really do. I'm just floored that, you guys would even come on and listen to me talk and come on and talk with me. That is a true blessing. And I humbly, appreciate it, but anyway, I love you guys. Have a good night. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you later on this week. I definitely will be doing prayer meeting Sunday, and I'll be doing another live show this week. And Saturday night, I'll do a live show also. But if nothing else, I'll see you guys Saturday night at the latest. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, shoot me an email. If you have any concerns or anything, shoot me an email. And if you have any criticisms, you think I'm doing something that's dumb or weird, shoot me an email. I embrace constructive criticism as long as it's through email, not through the comment section. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. I enjoyed the discussion tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you got something out of this. I did. And I always do. And you guys are my friends. You are my family. And I love you for that, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see you at the latest Saturday. I'll probably be coming on before Saturday, though. All right. So have a good night. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you soon.